I'm guessing that this is going to be an unkind comp, but Mike is asking if there's anything on the board that Carson Beck can do that Cam Ward could not.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, be 6'3.5", 6'4" to a 6'2 1/4. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything that he's bringing that's better. I think that he's very good. I think that, but there's a slight drop off. I mean, or a drop off, whether you want to call it slight or larger or whatever. But no, yeah, Cam Ward was head and shoulders above Carson Beck. That being said, Carson Beck is, and I keep saying it, throwing for 8,000 yards and more than 60 touchdowns in his career, or nearly 60 in 2 years over there at Georgia. Like, this is a guy who can hoop. Like, he can play, and like, yeah, I think that it's going to be less of a fall off than many people think. Like, this is not going from Cam Ward to Emory Williams. All due respect to Emory Williams, but he's a program player, fill in for a game if somebody's injured. But he's not that caliber. Like, there's a clear distinction between in favor of Carson Beck in the upwards direction between him and Emory Williams. So, yeah, I mean, he has big game experience, championship game experience that Cam Ward didn't. But, I mean, there's that. So, coming into Miami, he has more high leverage game snaps. So, that's one. I'll give you that. But I mean, it's a step down. And now you can debate amongst yourselves how big of a step, but it's a step down from Cam Ward to anybody playing college football this year. I believe the quarterback position, anybody. So, yeah, but no, I don't think that Carson supplants or surpasses Cam Ward in any of these things. I would say, his ability to operate in the pocket from prior game experience for Carson Beck is ahead of where Cam Ward was, but also Cam Ward was also dragging along a bunch of, plumbers and electricians and guys who are going to go to the enterprise rent-a-car management program after college. You know what I mean? Like, his talent was way above. So he had to do some wild stuff. And Carson worked more under center. He worked more from the pocket. So if you're looking at like some of those things, but like in general, having a stronger arm, no, comparable. But like, I'm not going to say, Carson Beck is Matthew Stafford or Josh Allen in terms of arm strength, because he's not. Mobility, Carson Beck is more mobile than you think, right? But like, not superseding really Cam, or any, you know what I mean? So like, he's a very good player. There are a lot of things to like. There are reasons why pretty much everywhere has Miami's over under between 8.5 and 9.5 regular season games, as in wins this year, because Carson Beck has incredible talent. But all of that being said, it's still not the talent that Cam Ward has. And that's okay. But I think it's really just finding what Carson does best and letting him do him the way that he operates, and not trying to say, okay, you have to be Cam Ward 2.0, because he's not. And that's all right.
Yeah, and to your earlier point, if Miami replaced Cam Ward with anyone who's playing college football, there would be a drop-off. There is no one to replace him. There's only so many number one picks in the NFL draft, meaning there's only one. There's only one per year, and he was the guy. With all the positions counted for, he was the guy. Carson Beck, now, if he can revert to the form of 2 seasons ago, he should be one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the country, somewhere in that range, and that ain't bad.
Absolutely. And again, you're really looking to not have, 41, 47 drops by the wide receivers, costing him all kinds of yards and touchdowns, and, mitigate the turnover issues, which for him were the 12 interceptions last year. So, that was also a thing that Cam Ward was asked to do, was to cut down the turnovers, and he did. So, you know, like, again, there are a lot of things to like. There's room for development, but yeah, like, there's one number one overall draft pick in a given year. There's nobody playing college football this year at quarterback who's a 1-to-1 replacement. Now, you could say, oh, well, there's Arch Manning, or there's da-da-da-da. Yeah, there are guys with great potential. There's Garrett Nussmeier. There are dudes, right? But one of those dudes is Carson Beck. And I still say, like, yeah, there's nobody playing college football this year, coming back, that's better than Cam Ward was. I'm sorry.
For a second there, Mike 3883, I was thinking that you were thinking that Steve Angeli was still at Notre Dame. He's transferred to Syracuse, and maybe you are aware of that because Miami is playing Syracuse later in the season, unless you're looking forward just to week 1. And then, yes, Angeli is going to be replaced by CJ Carr.
Oh, yeah, Lloyd Carr's grandson.